Hello you guys, Alexa the Alchemy here for your weekly card pull. Today's card pull will be for the week of January 23rd of 2023, and this message is channeled for anyone who has predominant Leo placements in their natal chart, whether that is your sun, moon, rising, or north node. Now my dear Leos, for this upcoming week, you are being encouraged to look at a level of success that you are having in your transformation. I pulled this card from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck, and for this upcoming week, there is an encouragement for you to look at the cycle of continuous improvement, which also includes a cycle of death and rebirth. Now, with this card, I get a lot of almost like a Scorpio type energy because anytime this card comes up, it is acknowledging the end of one thing and the beginning of another. So the concept of transformation and change might feel really prevalent to you right now. This could pertain to your business dealings or something in your work life. This could also pertain to personal life, home life, relationships. But I feel like for some of you, there might be this like chapter ending or chapter closing or project completion, something in the way of this like completion of one thing and moving on to or graduating onto the next. Now, if you haven't already tuned in with it, I did do a reading for the entirety of the 2023 calendar year. And for my dear Leos, the message that I got for you for this upcoming year was to allow yourself to be bold and to also trust that boldness will be accepted by the world around you. The intention for this upcoming year for you guys is to begin honoring your emotions and your intellect and yourself, and to trust that everything about who you are and who you are becoming will be accepted by the right communities, and it will lead you to success in the long run. I feel like for some of you, you are exactly on the right path, especially if this one resonates with you really strongly. I feel like that might imply that there's, again, a piece of you that maybe you're outgrowing an old version of yourself, maybe old habits, old ways of doing things, old beliefs, old relationships, old works. Again, there's something that you are graduating from or moving away from that I feel like there's a level of completion that has had in your life. And maybe some of you are feeling a little bit empty, or like you're not really sure what comes next or what comes after. Maybe some of you are resisting this ending and you're feeling like once that ends, you die and there's nothing moving forward. And your message for this upcoming week is that these endings, whatever they are in your life, they are inevitable. And it's important for you to allow them to happen organically and to happen naturally. Now, with this shift that's happening, there is a major phase of your life, whether or not you feel it's a big deal, there is a major phase of your life that is coming to a close. And there's a new beginning that's opening up into view. And this may not be something that you're experiencing externally. This may be a completely internal experience. So if you're sitting there like, nothing in my life is really changing, maybe this has a lot more to do with the way that you are relating to yourself and to your life. But there is something that has served you before or has served you in the past that no longer does, and this is now being released from your grasp. Now, the encouragement for you for this week, this is not meant to be a depressing card. The encouragement for you this week is that this shift, this change, this phase moving into the next one is going to bring positive closure to honestly a long-awaited cycle of completion. Like, I feel like there's a piece of you that's, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, has been wanting this end, this close, this completion, because it's like there's a piece of your, not to sound corny, but there's a piece of your soul that like really needed this experience and it really needed to learn from this experience. And now you're having the opportunity to do exactly that. And maybe for some of you, the way that you are experiencing this or the way that you are processing this, especially if it feels like it's unhealthy or it's heavy or it's hard, like some of you may be looking at things of the past and saying, oh, that was a failure, or oh, that didn't work. But any experience that you have where you're seeing something as a failure, the encouragement for you for this week is to begin seeing that quote unquote failure as a success. I would encourage you to begin consciously reframing the way that you're looking at it. It's okay to call a mistake a lesson. It's okay to say that something that failed was actually a success. I know this might sound really weird, but a lot of people, if they quit or leave a job or they get fired or a relationship ends or a divorce or something happens, conventionally, I feel like there's a piece of society, especially Western society, that sees endings as failures. Oh, you didn't continue the relationship, therefore it failed. But I think there is a radical reframe that might really benefit you in seeing that some things are not meant to be forever, and that can be a really tough pill to swallow, but that can also be a really beautiful one, because there's a lesson there of saying that just because something didn't work out the way it was anticipated, it doesn't mean that it was a failure. It is likely that this event or this shift, this change, may be bringing you a lesson that you actually really need in order to make something a success in the future. So if you're feeling like you failed, it's done, it's over, there's like a life-death process. And so any death that you're feeling, yes, it may feel like the ending of something, but it's also probably the fertilizer for the soil that's going to be birthing or planting or creating something new for you. So if something in your life is feeling like a death, I would encourage you this week to see it instead as a rebirth. Maybe something in the past is gone or it has shifted, and now you're being given the opportunity to take the things that you've learned from that and to harness that and put that into something new. And that something new may work out quote unquote successfully in the way that you want it to, and it may not. But realistically, what it comes down to at the end of the day is your definition of failure is your own. Like, you get to decide whether or not something is a failure, whether or not something is a success, whether or not it's a lesson or a mistake. That is within your power. That narrative work is completely within your power. And if that intimidates you, then it's likely that you're intimidated by the power that you actually have over things. And some of you may be feeling like, oh, I have no power, I have no control, I can't control anything in my life, blah, blah, blah. And you actually can control quite a bit, because you control the way that you perceive it. So for this week, lean into that growth mindset, identify if things didn't work out the way that you wanted, what ingredients may have been missing in the past, how you can cultivate an atmosphere where those will not be missing in the future or moving forward, and get ready to implement shifts and changes as needed. If this applies more to business or work dealing, then maybe be willing to see that things that didn't work out accordingly, or projects that may have failed, are actually the groundwork for the things that you will now put together that will succeed. You are not too late, you are not too old, you are not too dumb, you are not too inadequate, you are not too anything for this to work. In light of the larger message for 2023 and allowing yourself to be bold, you can be bold with creating new things. You can be bold with stepping forward, even if you're feeling a little bit shaky, a little bit unstable, maybe a little bit jostled by recent events. It's okay that you feel that way. It doesn't mean that you are not going to do well or you are not going to succeed. It means that you now have lessons for how to do that more successfully. So thank you guys, my dear Leos, my sweet dear Leos, so much for tuning in for this reading today. If you haven't already checked out the reading for your sun, moon, rising, north node, I highly encourage you to go ahead and go do that as well, especially if you need a little bit extra support and guidance for this week. And if you have any questions on anything, please make sure to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram or on TikTok at alexab.alchemy. I work professionally as a personal coach, and at the time of filming this, I am accepting new clients. So if you are looking for a little bit more support, shoot me a message that says Alchemy Method, and I will get back to you about how to move forward. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you so much, and I will see you guys next week on the next one. Cheers.